I'm just kind of worried. Because I don't expect people to be up at 1 a.m. seeing my shit. There we go, alright. Hey yo, if anyone is watching the Grammys, can someone please catch me up if Everything All at Once, Everything Everywhere All at Once wins anything? That's all I care about. That's all I care about.
That's it.
Alright, I've returned. Ignore the microwave. I have to also agree with you. Hey, you girls are fine as all hell. Alright, let me just do a one little hoopity hoo-dah. There we go. Not as hot. They hit different, but they're not as hot. Let me just quit out of one thing. Don't give a fuck that disconnected. I did that. Alright. Ooh, stray. I really hope to God that saved right. Yes, we cat. I've not played this game. I have somehow dodged spoilers since the game came out because, you know, bro, college student. Alright, thank God.
Alright, microwave is done.
I hit the wrong button. No! All my hard work got fucked! Cat game. Cat game. Where's the other scratching option? I gotta do it for the sake of it. Gotta fuck up this man's life just a little bit. Alright. Damn it. My brain just goes burr. Alright. I don't want to do that. I'll save her. That's fine. That's when I pay a lot. Alright, time to leave the safety. No! No, come back! Bitch, and you shut the blinds on me! Fuck you! Alright. My black cat energy is coming out. Things to defend boys because they're hot. That is fair. But I just have more of a preference for girls. So like e-girls or any... It's girls and anyone who could honestly just step on me. I'm so gonna... You know what? At this point, it's just natural. Oh, son of a bitch. There's an achievement if I scratch everything, so my brain literally just goes burr. Oh, we about to die. It's shift, I'm assuming. Shit. Nope, that's the way we came. Time to go. Damn it. There. Listen, sometimes I'm just a little bit stupid and sometimes I forget what the fuck commands are. Do you know how many different game commands I have fucking saved in here? Bro, the Valorant commands are so stupid. I'm gonna say it! I looked at that game, looked at the commands, and wanted to kill myself.
You can't change them?
You can, but there's so many different that, like, interlock with each other. I have to think of mentally. I'm also not touching that game for a while, because fuck that game. Nothing against Valorant, it's just bad experience, bad shit happened. Don't want to talk about. Come on. Go. Now where the fuck do I go from here? Oh, that. Yeah, I was assuming that was the right way. Oh, cool, I gotta save. That doesn't look fun. Is there more over here? Dodge away, bitch! Fuck. You know what? I get an achievement out of this. I die. You literally... I'm pretty sure I'm almost at the 9 lives. Pretty sure I'm almost there. I'm just a little bit stupid and forget buttons.
If I knew you would get the joke, I would have played the death whistle from Puss in Boots.
I've seen it. I know what you're talking
I
about.
would have just played that.
Now, what's an easy... Doing a little bit of investigation. Because there's gotta be... Oh, okay. Is that a possible jump? It is. If I get really quiet, I swear to God, I'm not trying to do that on purpose. I am just intensely fucking focusing. There we go. Cat died. Cat has died, I think, 7 times? 6? It wasn't always this way. There used to be strict energy caps, especially in the slums. But people couldn't handle the consistent darkness. One day, everyone lit up rainbow lamps and neon sign all over their houses. The person always takes away and never. The person was taken away, never seen. The people saw hope, and not long, everyone started putting a lot of lights in their home. There could be. See colors again. I think it would help.
Make sure I really hope not just again.
Shut the fuck up. I would greatly appreciate it.
Because I forgot, I didn't only watch Jackson Galaxy Boy, I also watched Parasite
Alright, cool. sure his brain's a little bit slow. Yeah, I don't know. Forever glad this game does not allow me to walk off the edge. I don't like the consistent saving. Ow! Oh, we hacking shit now? Perfect. Ah! Okay! I did not see them! Good! Burn you bitches! There's still some. Son of a bitch. Oh yeah, I'm... There's gotta be a way to do it from here. Because I don't think I'm smart enough to do it from there. Nope. Like that faster, please. Oh, God. There we go. Alright, I'm just a little bit dumb. I saw someone say it. From Puss in Boots. Now, I'm not set. I've seen too much human fan art of the wolf from Puss in Boots to not say he's attractive. I've seen too much.
I haven't seen any. I've only seen human fan art of Puss in Boots.
Alright, somehow made it through that. Surprisingly. Why? See, sometimes it just takes... Why do I feel like I'm the upside down? Oh. We're gonna speed on past this. I saw the save. I can't sprint. Fucking run. No, let me knock it off, please. Damn it. Oh. Alright, where are we going now? Good thing I came up here. Bucket. Nah, him without a beard was hotter. Why did you go the opposite way? Oh. Get me the fuck out of here! I fucking knew it. Stupid decision. Not my name? Oh, Cat, it is your name. Fuck you and your meow meow ass bullshit. Can I go on the fence? Cannot. Okay. So where am I heading to? You know what? We're just gonna die a couple times and see how this goes. Fucking thing didn't let me. Damn it. Where the fuck am I going from here? Love how I said I didn't like this space. She's a fucking army. But that's not the way! I swear to God, the space bar is gonna kill me. Damn it. I'm there. There it is. There's the command. Or there's the achievement. So I was right. Please tell me I don't have to go all the way fucking back. I will actually cry. I wasn't smart to remember how the fuck I got there. Son of a bitch. That will actually be tears. Okay, that was just my dumbassery. Jump it. What the fuck? Thank God. Ayo, Chief, I don't want to be here anymore. Again, I swear I'm not this quiet on stream. I'm just fucking focusing. For the waste management, trash me up it. Of course, fucking humanity's a bitch. Damn it. The fuck? Why has some of them mutated? Damn.
So dramatic.
Jump there.
Don't you dare. I know what you're saying. No. And now I can't move.
Congrats. Surprisingly, I did that well. Oh, because there's already... Okay, that makes a shit ton. So I was safe even from the beginning. Thank God. Okay.
Buy you signature weapon.
Shh. Not the time. Bestie, now is not the time to tell me about this man's signature weapon. Of fucking course it is. Okay, cool. Ah, fuck. I fucking hate those things. Elevator, I'm gonna need you to hurry the fuck up! Damn it! Elevator, I'm gonna need you to go faster. Elevator, I'm gonna need you to go faster. I can't do this shit. I can't run these bitches around. Please, I'm just trying to do my thing. Alright, let me actually, like... I can't jump up there. Oh my god, I literally just have to run them around. Let's see how many of them I can throw off the sides. Oh shit. Yeah, that's not gonna end well. I'm gonna be honest, I got stuck. Oh my god, I'm gonna hate this. I hate these anytime these motherfuckers are involved, I want to off myself. But I have a plan. Just keep them around that area. Because I didn't realize there was gonna be more coming. It's been 25 minutes, Jesus Christ. Alright. That surprisingly worked! Please get the fuck off the elevator. Thank God. Please give me a save. I'm not doing that shit again. Thank God. Here it is. Put the transmitter on this antenna. Jesus Christ. Christ, the world's like so polluted. That's, whoa. I was about to be like, that's insane. This is where we're heading to. This game is so beautiful. I just hate those motherfuckers with every being in my... Yes, please, make it easier for me to fucking leave! Look at the view, it's beautiful from here. I remember now the city, it was meant to be a shelter. Look at those stars, the only light marks the hermit roof still off the city. built this shell to protect themselves from the outside, but it came at a cost. Nobody could go out. The outside was a disaster, completely barren, unalive, and dangerous. So then how the fuck did... A year for must be safe again. My promise when... And I was about to be like, how the fuck are we here? I don't understand why some memories are coming back and others aren't, but I'm certain this is my purpose. I have to open the city. Well, let's go back and find Momo. Now we can help. Oh, so we're just unlocking some of the cores while I'm gonna... So, Story's gonna unlock some of the cores. I'm just finding some of the... Whoa! Oh, you can see the dome, like, damn. I thought the stars were gonna be more... prettier. I didn't think they were gonna be like that. Oh, thank God! Thank God! I didn't have to go through all that shit again. The slums part 2. Hold up! Gotta do the, Alright. Why is the cat toy in the ground? Yo, cat's home. Oi. Oh, look, a note. Little outside, if you're reading this, it means you're still alive. Excellent. Look at some equipment. I took some equipment to the bar to take advantage of their antenna. Come meet me there. I've locked the window, but the code, open it, it is. Be careful in case they see you at the bar. Anyone caught that? The code was... It was an H, I think. Air. Oh, shit. Oops, my bad. Let's try this. Let's see. Success. It worked. It's waiting for us. I'm just gonna go. No, I gotta fuck up the apartment. There we go. Cat toy. I've already done that one. Wait. You gotta do the scratching. Alright. I'm pretty sure I remember who the fuck the bar is. Oh, you fucks are still depressed as hell. What did you do now? Alright, we're back in safety, so I'm not gonna fucking die 50 times. Hello? Oh, hey! Unironically finds it. Hey, little furball. Come here, I managed to get a signal. Okay. Whoa, there's new people I haven't met. I've met you. This man's still out as hell. You gave me a stool? I love you. Let's see if I can get this working. Yes. Yes. I don't think this music is copyright, but fucking I'm pissed off copyright enough. Almost got it. Hello. Oh. Yes, we can hear you. We're from the slums. We're looking for a way out. And is that you? Can't believe it. I'm so confused. Where are you? Are the others okay? We're safe. We found a way up. Hello? Do you hear me? I have to get through the sewers to reach us. Very dangerous. Zerks everywhere. Sewers. How? Hello? Darn it, we lost the signal. Yeah, just the sewers the most dangerous place in the slums. There must be a way. Don't look at me, I ain't going through that shit. Oh, he's awake? You'll never make it out to series infested with Zergs. Make a quick amount, especially you, little one. Many have tried their luck in the past. It doesn't end well. Anyways, I warn you, business is none of my business. I respect that. I respect that. I will give you advice, but whatever happens outside that is not my fault. Does that say made in France? Seamus. His father, Doc, used to be a great scientist. He worked for the new weapons to fight the Zergs. A few years ago, he went on the test device and never came back. Even Seamus is never the same since. I was waiting for the cat to tilt its head. This is Seamus. He's just scared, like I was. But if Doc built a weapon, there's a ticket to the outside. In his notebook, Doc mentioned the secure lab a few times, so it must be where he was working on it. There might be a room in his apartment. Come on, follow me. Oh, can't wait to go raid through some people's apartments. There's Teddy. Ah, yes, I love a good bop. No! That's a plastic bag! Fuck that bag! Oh, it's a paper bag. But I don't care, fuck the bags. Take the bucket. This poor guy is still cleaning. Oh my god, we do get water apartments! I didn't realize that. Oh! I was like, I brought her a shit ton of music. Come on, Seamus, open the door. I know your father would have wanted to help us. Ooh, that's the one thing you don't bring up in a conversation. You don't bring up the daddy issues. I suspect that the situation is pretty rough. He doesn't want to hear about the outside anymore. He helped me, but you, I think I have an idea. Do not make me do stupid ass shit to break into this man's apartment. I swear to God. I see the hole. Grants a new item. It contains a lot of information that will help act as an electric shock. And a secret lab, little outsider. Communication with the others. Oi! I don't even mean to do that so quickly. Oi! What are you doing here? I told you, going through the servers, leave me be. What is this? Wait, is this my pop-ups? You are so far away. That probably would not have reached, but okay. Oh wow, I never knew. There's a secret room in our flat, but where? Oh shit, didn't mean to do that. Oh, well. Shit. Found something. Can I just knock all these off the wall? Yes, I can be an actual cat. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Time will tell. Wait, did I see a scratch option? No. Ayo, what do you know? How did I miss it? I have no idea what the password could be. Damn. I was about to really laugh, it was just the fucking numbers. I'm so sorry. Unless I typed that in wrong. Huh. Oh god, there's fucking numbers everywhere. I don't like this. Oh, thank god those are all the same. Yeah, I put that in right. It's 9987. Again, the cat instincts won over. Damn. Could be. Good sir, I'm just a cat. What?
He's not a healer. You were wrong.
Son of a bit. How?
Apparently he's a shielder and buffer.
Ew, that's fucking disgusting. I also have the gold to meow. Tubbs? Hi, Tubbs! Why the fuck are you still awake?
Wait, I'm getting mixed signals.
That's what I said!
Cause like some people are like it's fake, but like someone who's like pretty
Cause why the fuck would they give you a new artifact set that heals?
yeah, I don't know. It's like cause like that one Genshin like update. I don't remember what they're called right now. I can't find them.
We're talking about Genshin Link, so if you don't want to hear that shit.
Sorry, the Genshin mains your guide to that. They're the ones that said he was a shielder. He's similar to Aelon, is what I'm hearing.
So he runs off of HP. That's gonna be fucking fantastic. I cracked my neck trying to do that.
Sounded pain.
No, that was actually a pretty nice crack. It's the other side of my neck I need to fucking crack. I see those fire emotes. I'm just being dumb and... Motherfucker, I don't... Cat mode activated. And just knock shit over. Because there's numbers right there, but that does not work. You were blurry as fuck. I'm just a little scrumpy doing my job, okay? Oh, you son of a bitch, you locked me in here! Can't escape even if I wanted to. The game is just like, please. What could the code be? I don't know, I found numbers! Cat mode really said activate. If you think I'm trying all these fucking numbers, you're wrong. See, I was telling you, I'm getting mixed signals. Oh! They were fucking... It's 251. I was a dumbass. I keep hitting different things. It was on the clocks. Oh, Oh! Never seen this room. I can't imagine it was hidden from me all this time. These blueprints, they must have been Zerg weapon. Papa was so secret about his work. He told me the weapon wasn't a working theory, but needed a real-life test subject. He went outside to the slums and he never came back. Well, seeing from the fact that there's 3, 4! Motherfucker did his job. Oh, they now eat metal. I'm a fucking chaos gremlin. Anything interesting in there? I got some detergent, but that's really it. Translate. Cute sounds, but never friendly. Old bacteria of human times eat all kinds of materials. Total vision in the darks reacts to intense light. That's interesting. I said it was gonna be jumps that killed me. It was the fucking jumps that killed me multiple times. Concept, low light blaze clarity, 20 Zerks? Holy shit! Hey yo, I'm gonna need that weapon like ASAP, because I'm not fucking dying to these things anymore. Hey yo, I found some shit. Damn, I have to like actually be looking for something. Hey, Mr. Ray. Why is there so fucking... Is one of you motherfuckers alive? Swear to God, if one of you jumps out me. Swear to God. I will commit a fucking war crime. You already translate that. Oh. Oh, there's something heavy in there. I found something! Wait, I remember this. This is Tracker. Oh God. Papa always used Tracker to keep an eye on where I was. Maybe we can reverse it to find where he went. I can't believe my Papa might still be alive. I miss him so much. We need a weapon for the Zergs, right? My Papa definitely took one with him. We need to repair the Tracker so we can find him. Something in slums could help. Come with me. I'll open the door for you. We going on a trip and I'm not fucking prepared. The painting is stuck to me. Look, I'm just a little guy. So I need to find something that will repair. Would an energy drink help? Okay. Alright. Have I spoken to you? You're Zoe. Please tell me I can scratch on this. Ben, you think I do not actually have, like, cat instincts? Please don't act like a child. I'm not gonna hurt you. What? Huh? Oh, I love finding lore events, literally just by being me. Hey, you wanna let me in? Oh, hello. Found her trash. So many treasures. You should visit the barn. For everything that was there. I love how I can tell this is a Chinatown area. Oh, that's why I need the soap for, so I can barter. Give me that. Take energy drink. I will take that. Hey, love. I have found more. Mildly important information. Let's say every time she gets me music. I'm just a chaos being. I can jump on this. Yes. No, fuck the paper bag. That's death. Look. Look, as much as I love paper bags, I'm not doing that shit. Okay, thank God. It automatically saves every time you give her music. Some detergent. Hello, I'm the merchant of the market. You give me something, I'll give you something exchange. It's simple as that. All of our ancestors. It will cost me 3 energy drink cans. I can't do less. I think I have 2. Sorry, that's not enough. Okay. Expect the best of the market. I'll exchange these from... Here you go. Internet cables. Inspect the music sheet. Everyone, not ours. It'll cost you 1 energy can. Here you go. I'll do it just for the sake, but I do want that painting. Grant a new item. My bad. If you haven't learned, I'm a fucking menace to society. Okay. Translate the marketplace. Should have expected that. Alright, I already got my stuff from you. I just need to find more sodas. I knew that that detergent was going to be important. Necro plants glow in the dark. You don't need the sun to enjoy nature. So that's why there's plants still alive. Shit ton of sense. I've talked to both of you already. Don't mind me, I'm being a little bit of a skrunkly. I was in here before. Again, I'm amazed you have a working computer, but that's fine. Love coming back. Love unironically finding important shit I need. Oh, someone just got free detergent. My bad, Chief. Can I come in? Nope. Oh, hi. I can't go back up. I saw something. Oh my god. Have I spoken to you? I've not spoken to you. Don't make me clothes stylish, no? I'm so sorry! Look, I'm just a little guy. I'm sorry, that made me so happy. But I need cables. Took it right away. Am I gonna get a sweater? Am I gonna get a sweater? There you go, little one, it will suit you well. Please tell me I can wear it. Oh, okay. Someone... I'm just doing fetch quests now. You want something? He's very talented, you know. Okay, it's not him. What the hell is his name? Cool. Love that. Elliot program. Knock on the door and wait for us to open. Hello. Fuck. I got in just in time. Oh, I don't think I can meet him yet. That's fine. I'm just gonna be a little shit. I'm gonna be a little shit. Hi. Here for Elliot. He's just over there. You just show that to Elliot. Unironically, finds shit. You're programmed to be slave that sense. Oh my god. Holy shit! This tree is scientific marvel. It's remarkable that humans found a way to create plants that thrive without sunlight. Organic life requires tree to purify the air. Robots don't need it, but they take care of them anyways. It's what the humans would have wanted. Can I help you? Oh wow, great, it's a dragon. I recognize this model. I definitely don't feel right. I can't work when I'm shivering like this. I need a blanket to get... Where'd you find this? It's amazing. Let me try it on. Unironically doing the right things like a dumb... Look, no tremors. I'm able to work again. They can feel the cold? You definitely fix your tracker. And literally just gotta give it an upgrade and one more. What up? There you go, little one. Good luck in finding who you're looking for. Thank you. Look, I have to. I gotta scratch on everything I see. It makes my brain go absolutely fucking burr. That window's closed. I wasn't kidding. I got a scratch. God, I really am a cat. I have way too much fucking cat energy. Can you let me out? Thank you, good sir. The bar. He's still in there working. Nothing, I'm just chilling. I wanted to see you. The sound effect that made. Yo, I got shit for you. The way you compute tonight. Yes. Cat rest time. Femboys. Femboys. Ah, my arm just fucking popped. Ow. Femboys. Femboys. I'm getting a judgmental laugh from my roommate, but that's fine. Look, I'm just saying women. Because you already know I'm down bad for someone. I am down. I don't think you understand. I'm down horrendous for someone. I will chill her for the entire fucking generation. You were down bad for someone? Maybe it's because the whole thing happened! And I didn't have the fucking time to! I am the guardian of her music, you can kindly get the fuck out of here. You know, I'll look at the wall. Cool down. I think I can play this. Look. No, just for the funsies. I did it! I walked! Oh! Oh, that glitched into her foot. I love this game, but it's chaotic. Yeah, that shit happened. Look, all I'm saying is that that Discord cannot burn in hell. It's only 3 of them. I'm surprised someone's still in there. I've got an ideal. I just see the cat scratching. Or stretching. Fuck. I don't know if this is untitled. This tune contains exactly 44 notes. Definitely unfinished. It sounds pretty. That's not ominous. That's not an ominous thing to say, hey, check Discord. I think that's all of them. Wait, can I go rate the machine again? That's a possible jump. Let me go up on the jump, please. Okay. So I want to get that painting. Is that a cat toy? It's one of the balls? I didn't notice that, but I fucking appreciate it. Oh my god, there's 2 cat toys. Wait a second. I know I did this last time, but this makes my brain go unnecessarily burr. Ooh, okay. Good sir, I need a soda machine. Do you mind telling me where the last one is? Never mind, we gonna go this way. Oh my god. An old ass computer. I didn't mean to do that. Cat energy goes burr. Oh, that's Elliot's thing. Damn it. I said the jump is what's gonna be fucking me up, but I like it. Because I'm a little bit stupid sometimes. Good sir, please. 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 Why? Where's the hoop? Damn it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not hurt at all. Hello, good sir. You don't see me looking for a soda machine? I've already done this one, damn it! There's also an achievement with this. Yes, I looked at all the achievements. I was bored. Gotcha. Got it. I know there's probably not one in here, but I like just coming in here. Haha! Found it! Also found this. Rip humans. Damn. Rip humans. Humans were the first residents around here. It seems like they're all dead now. What do you think it feels being dead? No, silly company. What if they were actually at peace? I'll be at peace when I die. I don't know what death is for me. I'm sorry, I don't want to break the mood. Let's keep going. Where is it? Oh, it's literally just been a way I've never went to before. Good sir, I have your 3. Give me the fucking mysterious thing. I don't even care about that. I had the wrong thing. Hello again, what do you not know? It's an ancient relic testament to our ancestors, so it'll cost you 3 energy drinks. I can't do less. Nope, what the fuck? Oh, son of a bitch. Eh! I gave one away for the fucking music. I haven't met you yet. Preparation is key. We'll come back. Can y'all shut the fuck up? I'm sorry! I love the way how he just calls them rascals. Never forget that. Basically robbed this man of everything he had. I sure as fuck did! You did it. Yeah! Give it here. I know this has only been an hour stream, but I've been being yelled at in the Discord. I already don't have the mental capacity to deal with it. Can I get a save? That, thank God. Alright. I know it's short. I will do a longer one. Special stream tomorrow since I don't have... I'll do a special stream tomorrow for a little bit longer. I'll do the work I need to do later. I just can't right now. I physically can't. I know it sucks. I can't. I just not right now. None of my friends are live, which is sad. We're just gonna go raid Sneak again. Why not? Very quickly checking all of that. I don't give a fuck. Don't care. I'm very quickly checking this. Alright, it looks like people are, like, slightly just arriving. Which is fine. It's fine. It's in follower sub-only chat. It's fine. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do a slightly longer stream, even though I don't usually stream on Mondays. It's just because I can't deal with what I'm dealing with right now on stream, because I will say some out-of-pocket shit that I don't want to come back to me. So yeah, I will see you all later. Bye!